first ever podcast from Paradise. We have GM Nyago with us today because I thought it'd be pretty cool to have a GM for our first podcast, so you guys know. We'll have other guests in the future, like Paladin or people from the LO team. We also have GS Latte with us, and hopefully, maybe Zorkate next time. We'll see. Right now, we already have a couple questions, so in the future, if you guys have questions, you can visit our website, Lime Paradise, or you can visit the forum. I'll put a link in the description in our podcast to the community events forum, so you can post what you want to see on the podcast there, or any questions. If everyone wants to say hi, we have Dilbert here, we have Rezo, Latte, and Yago, and everyone's kind of silent.
Hello. Yo.
Hi.
Howdy.
So before we start things off and we talk about Lime Odyssey, I think we should get to know Nyago a bit more. So if you want to tell us something about yourself that, we don't know, even though you have a fan club, so I'm pretty sure they know everything about you. But yeah, if you have anything you want to know, tell us, and yeah.
Well, I don't know, the fan club was created, like, without me knowing, and then I just ended up joining it, so I don't know if they know, like, much about me other than the fact that it's an appreciation thread, which is cool, I like that. As for a couple things about myself, well, I've been working in the game industry for about, at least in the background for maybe about 8 years now. Before that, I started in retail, selling games at a GameStop. So I've been working in video games ever since I was like 18. Um, a fun fact about me, I've worked on some pretty big titles before coming to the area. One of them is Rock Band, and the other one is Soul Calibur 4. So I don't know if that's too much information, but yeah, there you go. I've actually worked with a lot of games in the past, and I think this is like pretty much my career.
Whoa, that is actually pretty cool. I used to play Soul Calibur a lot. Um, I also, that fan club of yours, I didn't join it till recently because I didn't know about it. But yeah, I just joined it recently. What drew you into Lime Odyssey? Like, we know that you're assigned here, but I'm pretty sure, from what I know, that you really enjoy it. So, what draws you into it?
Well, this like goes all the way back to like, well, I mean, everybody knows that LO is made by the guys that made Ragnarok Online, and RO was the first MMO I played growing up. I did CB and then OB, and I played for at least like what 4 years from there. And I was submitting bugs as just a player and stuff, and I didn't get all this whole like free to play stuff back in the day, and then they were doing the whole pay to play bit. But yeah, I was really fond of the game. I mean, the music was great, the gameplay was great, and then they were talking about the sequel, and then everybody knew about RO2, and then that failed the first time around, and then like just somehow out of coincidence I ended up working at Area, and then I found out about Lime, and then how Sirius is now Sykin, and they used to be part of Gravity, and considering that I played a lot of RO, they're like, well, maybe you should work on the project, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll jump at the chance, so that's why I'm the GM for Lime.
Oh, that's pretty cool. You got lucky. To be honest, I've only played RO for, I don't know, maybe a month at most. But that's only because I played, when they had the renewal patch, so it was kind of weird. But otherwise, it seemed like a pretty interesting game, and I played a lot of Lime Odyssey while I had the chance, so it seems pretty interesting to me. I don't know if anyone else here has played Ragnarok before, the first one, although it was pretty interesting game as well. So everyone knows that the new Lime Odyssey is coming out. It was revamped for a couple of years, I think 2 years, about 2 years. Um, what are you looking forward to most in the new Lime Odyssey?
Hmm. Well, I want all those bugs to be fixed. That's definitely my first priority with the game. Along with that, I'm really excited to see the new UI, the new dungeons. I want to see what they did with the trade system because I didn't actually play the latest beta that they put out. I know you guys did, but I didn't get a chance because, well, I work here. Um, but yeah, I'm just really interested in seeing how they redid the game from what I was working with when we had the alpha version.
I don't know, invisible mobs attacking you seems pretty cool and challenging. But I guess it's a pretty big bug as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the bosses and stuff as well. And the card system is pretty cool. I was gonna mention something about RO2, but I don't wanna, cause there's a lot of comparison stuff going on lately, and it's not a good thing. All right, it's been a long time since Lime Odyssey came out, and it's probably gonna be a little while till it does come out here on under area. So what have you done to preoccupy yourself during this time? This really sad time of waiting.
Well, considering that I mean, it's my job to work on the game, considering that Lime's been on hiatus because of development and whatnot, they decided to put me back on Eden Eternal, which I helped work with before I went to Lime, and I've been here ever since. Um, I mean, I still take care of the forums with Pally, and but granted, he's doing all the events and stuff now, and help with the tickets and whatnot for Lime. But yeah, mostly it's just Eden. Eden has a lot of stuff coming along. We have our anniversary next week, um, 2 years of Eden Eternal, along with a really big patch that's going to be coming down the pike. I don't know if we actually announced that yet, but if we didn't, I guess this is our pseudo announcement of the makeover patch for Eden Eternal.
Whoa.
But yeah, I try to stay in contact with the Lime Odyssey devs. They've been giving us updates here and there. Not so much of a client yet. The last one I worked with was on the one for February, which was fairly sketch for the most part. But from what I've heard and talked about with you guys in regards to the one that they launched for beta, things have been looking on the up and up. So I mean, still waiting, but I think the wait won't be that long. Hopefully, I won't be saying soon a bajillion times for another couple months, but you know, we'll wait and see. We'll see what happens. I'm hopeful.
Yeah, people have been like trademarking that soon word. But yeah, I can see it coming pretty soon as well. Hopefully it's sooner than we think. Um, so you have played Lime Odyssey, you know what's coming up. What would, if you were to add one thing, what would it be and why?
Um, I mean, I really like this question, but then, like, just a minute ago, you were saying how we don't want to do the RO2 LO comparison,
Oh yeah,
but I
that's pretty bad.
really like that. I'm just gonna throw this one out there, and then I'll go into another one. But that whole like bonus like achievement grid thing that they had in RO2, I thought was really cool. I don't know if anybody else here has played RO2, but it's just pretty much like an objective list
Oh, the car
outside of your main
system.
quest, and it's like yes, that. And if we had that in land, I think that would be really cool. Granted, I mean, RO2 and Lime are really similar in terms of gameplay and style. Well, of course, but yeah, that was a really cool feature that I wish we had in LO. Um, but in terms of adding something to LO, I don't know. Like considering I'm all smothered with Eden Eternal right now, I'd probably take something like a five-person mount along those lines and put it in there, or I don't know, maybe the feature to have to make costume items because there's a lot of crafting in Lime, but all costume items are going to be cash shop from what my understanding is, or at least what my understanding was when we were working on it like, you know, a couple months ago. So to be able to make some costume items and then to sell costume items, I think that would be cool. At least even the playing field between spender and non-spender players, you know?
Yeah, and Lime Odyssey is that type of game where it feels like when you're playing it, you can see the potential it has, and you know that it has a lot of potential. And that 5% mount idea is pretty interesting. I like riding my mount with my friends. Um, Another thing, EE has like floating-ish mounts. It would be pretty cool if Elo had something like that as well. Even flying mounts if possible. I don't know. There's a lot of things I not expect, but I hope for because I don't know. I just feel like Lime Odyssey has that potential and they can do it. Um, So yeah, let's get off the topic of Elo for just a bit, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people wondering, maybe a couple people know, but why did you choose the name Nyago as your alias?
Actually, I don't know if actually I put that out there, but Nyago is a Sanrio character from like 2001, which you guys do the math, that you guys can figure that I'm kind of older. But apparently because I like taking naps and I like sleeping a lot, uh, I used to get a lot of that stuff as presents, which I actually have some on my desk at work. But yeah, I don't know, it just stuck. It's a little sleepy, chubby cat, tabby cat that just chills on my desk, and it's a pretty interesting character. It's really cool. And because I like sleeping, I guess it just ended up becoming like an alias for me.
Yeah, a lot of presents. I remember seeing that Lime Odyssey mug that you had. It's pretty cool as well. Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah, it's still on my desk.
Hopefully, you give us
My mug.
right. I want that mug. Hopefully, you can give us like a chance to get Lime Odyssey gear. I'd be pretty happy. Uh,
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, I know that Scarlet Blade, which is one of our other games, just recently did that whole Founders Pack bit with you can get like a Scarlet Blade flask or whatnot. I mean, once we can get the ball rolling in terms of getting closer to launch instead of development with LO, I will definitely try to talk to the developers and our contact to see if we can get like some swag from Korea to at least hand out in some capacity of a contest or whatnot, because there's like this foil scroll poster bit that we have hanging in the office on my desk, and then we have the mug, of course, which everybody wants. And I know there were T-shirts and some like little booklets and leaflets and whatnot. But yeah, like I definitely want to start handing that stuff out, especially for the guys that have been waiting, like you guys have been waiting for so long. And I know all you guys' patience is wearing thin, and I mean I want to give back to the community in some capacity. I know Pally's doing it with the whole make a T-shirt thing, but to get some like official Psych-In swag and then to hand it out, I thought would be really cool. And I know they were on board initially when we brought it up to them, but then of course we're on delay again. So hopefully down the line we can revisit the idea, and hopefully they'll come through with that.
yeah, actually, Rezo here was the one of the winners for one of the t-shirt competitions. So he got himself a pretty sweet Lime Odyssey shirt that he got to design. So that was pretty cool. I like that. I like those type of events. Hopefully we see more like that. Um, what about? Let's go back on Lime Odyssey. What race you played it during the alpha? So what race or class did you enjoy the most during your time playing Lime Odyssey?
That's tough considering I've played all three. I don't know. Like I really like the mirror starting area because it's so colorful, even though I'm colorblind, but it's like just really pretty. Um, and really structured because blue coral just kind of takes you all over the place. And with Karakunta and whatnot, like in Tumbara Plains, it's kind of circly. And I don't know, I felt it was more repetitive with Turga. Human was you just jumping everywhere. Maris was really like really eased a player into the game, really good end user experience. So I'd probably say Maris. And as for class, I would probably say Cleric because, well, at the time it was the most OP thing, and on top of that, it's reminiscent of how I used to play RO, which was just solo Acolyte to solo Priest.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that when I play Lime Odyssey, even though I know a decent amount about it, I've never been to the Mirror starting area. Only once during the Korean open beta that just happened recently, and that was for all of like 30 minutes because I fell asleep. But it was a pretty cool starting area. I saw screenshots. I think there was like a screenshot contest once during the alpha, and someone took a really beautiful screenshot of the Mirror starting area, and they won. It was obvious why they won because it's just such a beautiful place. It was really blue. I don't know what class everyone else here enjoyed the most or race. I would have to say I would say human only because although I've never been to the mirror starting area until recently, and then Tergas I usually play as a male character because I'm a man, but yeah. Um I don't play as female characters, so when I went to play as Turga, and they're really, really buff, and it's just not something I thought would look really cool as a cleric. I don't know what classes does everyone else, or what classes did everyone else enjoy the most, or what race? Rezo or Latte or Dilbert? I know Dilbert likes his thief.
Well, I liked Mage and I also liked Thief, so I'm kind of debating between those two. I might try Cleric, though.
Cleric's pretty awesome. I don't know about Rezo. I think Rezo's kind of like the tough DPS
It's
guy.
a DPS warrior. Do it in every game.
Yeah, and then Dilbert's the thief. I'm pretty sure. So we have a good mix of every class here.
Oh yeah. Get to be a thief now. OP thief. I can dual wield swords now.
You'd be like Kirito. Um,
Oh god.
sorry I mentioned that. Um, right. So, Nyago, do you have any like? I know you're working on Eternal, and maybe this isn't the best question, but when you do finally get to move back into Lime Odyssey completely, do you have any cool events planned out for us?
I mean, I had a bunch drafted up uh, when I was working on the game like 100%, but of course they never went to fruition because I can only do so much during like the 2 weeks of our alpha stages. Um, I mean, just for poops and giggles, I might do the whole stand in Blue Coral for 2 hours and hand out pets just to for the sake of nostalgia and to make myself insane because I didn't know it was gonna take that long when I first did it. But yeah, I have a lot of stuff I adapted from Eden for Lime. We'll probably be doing a lot of that. There's a lot of stuff that Lime has that Eden does not, so I can probably get a little more creative there. Um, I can't really go into detail right now about that stuff because we're, I mean, I haven't finalized it at all, and I still have to get it approved and whatnot. But yeah, definitely we have a lot of events, and then by then, hopefully, we'll have another GM on the team, so I can have them help me out with some ideas. But so far, in-game wise, we have a nice handful ready to go once the game comes up, and then as for forum events, well, Pally took that over away from me, so he'll be the guy to talk to in terms of new forum events for you guys.
Yeah, I remember that line pet event during Alpha. It was pretty amazing that everyone kind of got in line. Like, no one was like pushing people or skipping lines or crowding you. They kind of lined up, so it was pretty cool. Maybe because it was small.
That blew my mind.
Yeah,
Like,
it
you don't
did.
even understand. I was like, I was in the office yelling at people. I was like, come over. I was like, you can think players don't listen? Like, look at this. I just proved it. I have a giant lion standing in front of me.
It was pretty amazing. I was like, ah. And then it was like there was even players like trying to help out. They were like, once you get your pet, come over here. We'll incubate it for you. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So it was really nice. Community is really nice.
Yeah, no, that I'd probably say the community for Lime Odyssey is what defines the game. Not even the game itself anymore. I mean, considering that the game's been in and out for the past, what, 4 years since it's been announced. I mean, you guys are what make the game now. Like, with the No Lime, No Shave campaign, getting us free PR with that. All the stuff that Pally's doing, it's pretty much, this game is in its sense, and I hate to say it like this because I don't know, maybe people might take offense to it. It's kind of like a social network in a sense because it's all driven by user content, and that makes it really unique because usually everybody's just about the game, about the stats, about twinking your character, and about getting to the top of the ranks. Now, Lime's more of social, like, yes, there's the competitive PvP side to it, but so far, so like what I've seen is that everybody's really supportive for the most part. And yes, everybody's patience gets, like, tested, especially in terms of the weight, but everybody's really supportive. Everybody usually looks on the brighter side of things and works together in terms of keeping you guys entertained, and all the art and the stories and the uh, I don't know, just stuff like this, like Lime Paradise and the podcast. I mean, we don't see that too often on our other games, but you guys are so dedicated and devoted to this game, and it just blows my mind. Like, every time I see stuff like this pop up, and that's why I'm so willing to help you guys out, because I really want this game to come out for you guys. You put a lot of effort into it, and I'm sure the guys at Saiken are doing the same. I know that, like, they have like this one room where they sleep in the office because they're constantly working on it. Because I mean, they're trying to put it out on their own territory, so they're working as hard as we can. We're working as hard as
They
we
are.
can. You guys are definitely working hard, and like we're definitely appreciative of that. So hopefully we'll have the game for you soon, really soon, trademark soon.
Soon. Yeah, they do seem really really dedicated from what I've seen at least. A lot of the reason why I really enjoy this game in the community and normally it's really sad to say I used to play a lot of area games and I used to play for the game, not the community so much. But after seeing a lot about this game on different websites like MMO Hut, MMO Site, all that stuff, I would see the interviews and I'd read about it. And it was really cool how Areo's really working nicely with development and they you guys were kind of being like perfectionists. You didn't want it to come out all buggy, and that was a really smart move. Even though people might be a little disappointed, that's been I don't know a couple years, but in the end, I think it's probably the best. It was obviously the best idea actually. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much what I thought. Um, I don't know if anyone else wants to say anything about the game and when it is coming out. For anyone who's watching, we have no idea when it's out. Nyago says soon, hopefully. We all say soon, so soon. Pretty much, that's about that's about it. Um, Also, there's a lot of new stuff in this Slime Odyssey. We'll probably post a couple more things. I know a couple people are interested about the skill calculator. Uh, but we have Latte here, and Latte's our translator. She's gonna help us out, right, Latte?
Yo, totally.
Wow. Um, I know Latte's got a lot of stuff on her hand right now with the with other things like that placeholder thing on area if you're in the Lime Odyssey forums.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a secret for now though. There's a placeholder thread, and if you check back every day, maybe you'll see something. But yeah, that's about it. Skill calculator soon, game soon. Database is going to be revamped so you can see stuff about items and stuff. Um, and next time we'll probably have Pally with us. I don't know if Nyago can show up again if he wants to. He can show up for sure. That's pretty awesome. That would be pretty awesome. And next time
Yeah,
actually,
I'm down.
we'll ask people for questions. And if you guys want to ask questions to Pally or even Nyago, you can post it on our forums or on the area forums or on the community events thread that I'll link in the description to the podcast. And that's pretty much it. That's all we have for our first podcast. Hopefully, we have more stuff and events for the next one. So we'll see you guys hopefully next week because we're trying to get this podcast going weekly, depending on what we have. And thank you for tuning in.